If that's you in that intro video here, you are not alone. Trust me, I am feeling that as well. Every time I look at my portfolio, I would like to throw up. But we are not throwing in the towel just yet. We're going to take a look at these charts, see where our lines in the sand are, see what we could possibly expect out of a possible recovery here, and more. Mara reported earnings last night. Bitcoin still suffering, the overall market showing a bit of weakness here as the news continues to roll out. Let's go ahead and get right into it right now. We're going to start with the economic calendar as we so often do here. So let's take a look. Today was initial jobless claims. So this is probably going to suck some wind out of the market here. We are up almost a little over 20,000 jobs here, almost $20,000. Sorry, 20,000 jobs, jobless claims more than expected. Kind of fumbled that one a little bit. Not quite 20,000 jobs over the expected there. Now this is a thing we're watching very closely here with a lot of these federal layoffs that are expected. Remember, the federal government is the largest employer in the United States, and that is a huge impact on consumer sentiment when we're talking about tons and tons of layoffs. When the biggest employer in the land is talking about layoffs, people are wondering if they are on the chopping block. People are wondering, maybe I should start saving instead of spending. And as that rolls through the economy, it's going to spread far and wide as all of us start making that assessment that maybe we should be saving instead of spending. So that is going to be leading to some contraction here, and that's going to make the Fed's job a lot easier, actually. And in fact, we have quite a few Feds speaking today. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Feds speaking today, so get ready for the volatility to come through on that. Let's take a look real quick at Mara's earnings. Mara came out with earnings last night. They had a great turnout here. They did a really nice big move up. We'll look at that here after we talk about their earnings update. So let's scroll down here. Okay, so they had record high revenue, net income, and adjusted EBITDA. They have energized their hash rate to 53.2 exahash from 24.7 just a year prior. Okay, that's great. They improved fleet efficiency by 23%. They're at 19 joules. They're still not in like the top 5 or anything, but that's decent. It's not terrible. It's not great. They have 300% more energy capacity. Their portfolio is up to 1.7 gigawatts. That's pretty great. They expanded their owned data center portfolio. That was been a problem in the past, not having ownership of their own data centers, so they've wanted to improve on that, and they have. And they've lowered their direct energy costs to $28,801 per Bitcoin. Now that's their overall holistic cost, their all-in cost for Bitcoin. That's just their energy cost, but it's good to see that being under $30,000. I kind of wish they would tell us the all-in cost per Bitcoin, but it would be a lot less of a pretty number, so they likely don't want to do that. Okay. Let's see, what's this? What do they get? They got a wind farm in Texas. Okay, that's nice. Adopted a hybrid Bitcoin acquisition strategy. We already know about that. They've been buying Bitcoin on top of mining it. They grew their hodl to 44,893. They're just about 10% of what MicroStrategy owns, but they're not quite 10% of the MicroStrategy market cap, I don't believe. I'd have to look at that again, but they have some room to grow. Now let's see here. MicroStrategy does get a bit of a premium though over these because they don't have the mining operations as a risk factor. Okay. All right. These are the highlights. We just went over those. Okay. Their hash rates. Okay. And their blocks. Let's see what else we got here. Turning Bitcoin production and hodl. Yeah. Okay. Bitcoin yield. They've increased it by 62%. Their financial performance. They've got 656.4 in revenues in 2024, which is way up compared to previous years. Their EBITDA is up significantly to 1,232 compared to 794 the year before. Net income is about the same. That's Q4. It all came in Q4. Look at that. Cash Bitcoin holdings, lots. Nice. That's what we want to see. Cost per petahash coming down, so that's improved efficiency. That's great. Reported year end hash. Let's see. All right, great. They're doing pretty good. Let's see. Trending fleet efficiency, great. All right, it's all going to just be about efficiency and growing hash rate and just what they own and the fact like, hey guys, look, we're doing okay. And they are. They're doing okay. So let's go ahead and go into here. This is Bitcoin, but we're going to go click on Mara here. And let me make this a little bit bigger. I don't know why that's so small. They beat earnings by 1,024%. That is a huge beat. We've seen some other pretty big beats, and this one was pretty great. They came in with a surprise revenue beat of 14.18%. Off that news, they're up 13.57% in the pre-market. We came underneath this megaphone. We're coming back into it. We are probably going to hit a wall around $19. I was starting to buy Mara on this first candle here around $14, and I started like loading up all the way down to 12. It hit my line with perfection, by the way. My lower line down here that's been sitting here for a real long time down at $12 just came within pennies of it and started to turn around. I'm feeling pretty good about that line right now. So that is Mara right now. We're looking at potentially we could see a move back up to $16 in the coming days, maybe even all the way back up to $19. I don't know if it would go much higher than that, but that's what we can expect right now. The other company that reported yesterday was CoreZ. They got a little less fanfare. I'm not really going to go into their earnings so much right now because I actually haven't looked at it yet. that have to be a video all on its own, but you can see it was bad. They missed revenue by 3.94%. They missed EPS by 574%, but they went up 19%, meaning they had some good guidance or some good news about their AI side of the business. One of those two things came in. So CoreZ could be out of its downtrend here, but I want to see it get back above the 50-day moving average at, let's see, $13 before I'm really interested. And then I'd see potentially a roadblock at 14 at the 100-day moving average. But I do like that it's getting out of this descending channel now. You can see there's the descending channel, which would currently be at the 200-day moving average at 1161. In pre-market, it is at $12. So that's pretty great to see right there. I like that a lot. All right. So in terms of the other miners, they're not looking so good right now. Honestly, we really need to see a V-shaped recovery out of Bitcoin. We're going to click on CleanSpark real quick. It'll take a moment to load. Hopefully it loads a little faster than that because I can't really wait that long for it. Hopefully we get a V-shaped recovery out of Bitcoin. We get that. We could see the miners recover. Without it, they're not going to recover. I've been getting some comments about like covering the miners, doing some technicals, some TA on the miners. Basically, we're on a wicked downtrend. They're going to, all of them are going to continue to trend downward or sideways with slight ups on good news, like we saw with Mara and CoreZ, until Bitcoin shows us that it's going to give us a V-shaped recovery. If we don't get that, any of these rips are going to dip further, basically. If Bitcoin cannot perform, any rips we see are going to be followed by dips. We're looking at, like CleanSpark right now, we are struggling. We came down under $8. We went down to $7.68 yesterday. This is aggressive. This is bad. We came down and we sweeped the lows back here from September of last year. We sweeped those lows. That is bad. That is really bad, especially for the, a top 3 miner sweeping the lows from before when Bitcoin's trading way higher than it was back here in September of last year. Like, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That shouldn't be the case. These things are getting shorted into oblivion. And at some point, that pressure will have to be let up and they will be allowed to grow again and go up. But until then, and especially if we don't see a V-shaped recovery on Bitcoin, it's going to continue to be a sideways or down show until that happens. So we got to see a V-shaped recovery on Bitcoin. We got to see some of the shorts let up on these Bitcoin miners, and then they will fly, and they will fly hard. The risk is going to happen real fast on you. Otherwise, we're just going to continue to piddle around. It's going to continue to cause pain, inflict wounds upon you psychologically and financially until Bitcoin makes a new high, until the shorts get busted up or on the move up to like $13 or $14 in CleanSpark and like wipes out those shorts. We got to squeeze them, basically. They got to get squeezed. Until then, this is like ultimate capitulation. This sucks, and it sucks bad. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. So what do I want to see out of Bitcoin? I want to see exactly what I'm seeing right here. So we came basically down to the 200-day moving average, just barely kissed it, and we're moving back up. I really want to see it engulf this candle today. I want to see it get back up above $88,000 today or tomorrow. But any longer than that, and I'm gonna start questioning the strength of this move. This move, it's got to come in. It's got to come in hard. It's got to V-shape out of this thing and come right back up to like the 50-day moving average at $96,000, and it's got to do it quick. I really, really, really want to see a $10,000 candle out of Bitcoin to really feel any kind of confidence in it coming back and doing a V-shape versus it just coming back, hitting the 200, and then coming all the way down to this yellow line, which would probably be a good buy zone. But you know what? I'm probably not going to buy it down there if it hits that area, because I'm going to start saying, well, is it going to be 4 years before it comes back to up to $200,000, which I'm already kind of asking, which is probably a good sign that things might recover. But yeah, if we come down all the way back down, fill this gap, which is what everyone's expecting to happen, if Wall Street actually allows it to, that means they might have given up for the season. They might just be letting it fall and go into a bear market here for a while. So we're watching close. This thing's got to recover. It's got to recover. It's got to do it quick. If it can't do it quick, if it's a slow grind up, we're gonna be exit liquidity. All right, just keep that in mind. If it's not a quick move, because Bitcoin moves fast. So if we don't get a nice, big, quick move out of this disgusting drop, that means that the big boys are doing a slow build-up just to frustrate you further, and then they're going to use you as like exit liquidity the moment that you're finally back in. Okay, so pay attention to that. We want to see a big move up. We want to see it take out some key levels. We want to see a big candle come in soon. We want to see it come in soon. If it doesn't come in soon, and when I mean soon, I mean like days, then we're looking at potentially further pain and maybe even a left translated cycle that would really be painful. Now, I know that sounds like doom and gloom. That doesn't mean it's happening. It's just watch out for it. Watch out for the signs, because especially if we go out to like a bigger time frame, like if you go to a 2-month candle, and we turn off all my drawings because they're distracting. I said turn off the drawings. Okay. All right. This right here, these two wicks on top, those are tweezers. Those are really gross. Okay, now we saw those two right back here. Look at last time we saw something like that was back here in 2021. What happened after that? Huge, huge sell-off. Okay, now everybody was calling these back here tweezers right here, which turned out to go into a dip and then a fake out all the way to the top. Okay, we could see that again. We could. Bitcoin loves doing stuff like that. But if this is to be trusted, and we come back and we go anywhere beneath this green dotted line here, which is the Watson envelope, back under $75,000, we do that, yeah, we might just be seeing the distribution zone, which is going to drop us all the way probably to the 20-month moving, what would be the 20 EMA on the 2-month chart down here, all the way at $50,000 potentially, maybe even a little lower. So keep that in mind. The bigger chart, the wider chart, the 2-month chart is saying be cautious, be ready to exit at a moment's notice. We need to be prepared for upside and downside right now. We need to understand that when it's over, and we are looking for those signs. It doesn't mean that they are here today. It doesn't mean run for the hills right now. What it means is that we are in a fluid environment. Things could go very well or very bad for us in the snap of a finger, okay? So be aware of that. Watch it close. Don't be exit liquidity, okay? So pay attention. It's time to really be paying attention to everything that's happening. The fact that we're moving up today is a good sign. It's a good sign. I like it, and I hope it continues. Let's take a look at SPY real quick. All right, SPY kind of grinding down further. We got a little bounce. I like that. We bounce off the 100-day. If we get above the 50-day, I'll be feeling pretty good about SPY, about it not hitting that red line down here and not completely collapsing right now. But I would not be surprised, again, like I said in the previous video, that the 200-day moving average is calling our name this year for the SPY. It didn't touch it last year. It will probably touch it at some point this year, so keep your eyes on that. The other thing I want to talk about is Tesla. I started buying a little bit of Tesla. Whoops. Come on. There we go. I started buying a little bit of Tesla yesterday. Now, it's up in pre-market. That's nice. That's good to see. It came down under $300. Now, we could fall real low. I mean, this thing could dump pretty bad if things continue to get worse. Like, honestly, it could come all the way down into like the 260s, maybe even down to this green line here in like the 230s, 240s range. That is very possible. I have started to nibble. I've not gone into huge position sizes on this. I've started to buy a little bit, and I am early right now. The BX trender is still red. The stochastic still look disgusting. The RSI is still gross. This white line hasn't been broken. This yellow line is unbroken. This other white line is unbroken. So it is early. It's very early. But I've started to nibble. I've started to buy a small position, and I will write it down a bit if I must, and already have a little bit, and then hopefully be writing it back up to the promised land here shortly after. So just a heads up, I've started to do that. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Simply my thoughts, my ideas when I look at these charts. And with that said, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video, check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.